The night the stars came back, the lights go out. The town of Ember Hollow was small, nestled between hills and thick pines, the kind of place where everyone knew your dog's name even if they didn't know yours. It was a quiet night when the power blinked once, then again, then vanished entirely. No streetlights, no hum of refrigerators or porch fans, just sudden, absolute stillness. In orbit above Earth, the observation cruiser Thalviner recorded the event. Its analysts zoomed in on Ember Hollow, one of hundreds of settlements affected by the global grid failure. Chaos, they assumed, would follow. Monitor all signs of civil disruption, instructed Commander Zelvar, narrowing his 6 eyes on the holographic map. This is the weakness we anticipated. But down below, the humans didn't scream. No alarms blared. Instead, the quiet deepened. In the Harper household, someone struck a match. In the Johnsons' backyard, the faint flicker of firelight appeared. All across town, candles, fire pits, and lanterns bloomed like flowers after a storm. The aliens watched, puzzled. There was no panic, just light. The gathering. By the hour's turn, Ember Hollow was glowing with flame instead of filament. Firewood was pulled from sheds. Kids dragged sleeping bags and lawn chairs into yards. Neighbors who hadn't shared a word in months now stood shoulder to shoulder, their faces lit orange. Atop the Thalviner, confusion rippled through the observation crew. "Why are they congregating?" asked a junior analyst. "Defense posture," guessed another. "They must be preparing for conflict." But there were no weapons, just food. Deep freezers, warming fast, were emptied. Steaks slapped onto grills. Corn wrapped in foil sizzled on coals. Someone dragged over a speaker with a battery, but it died before it played a note. No matter. Singing started anyway. "Hot dogs. Got extras," shouted young Danny Baker, handing out buns like treasures. Old Ms. Rodriguez, long widowed and often left alone, found herself tucked into a lawn chair between the Parkers and the Gwynns, sipping something warm and laughing at a joke she didn't quite hear. No chaos, just community. And overhead, the stars returned in their full glory, unfiltered, sharp, and endless. Children of the night. The children were the first to adapt, as they always are. At first they were confused. Their tablets were dead, their shows vanished mid-episode. But then someone found flashlights. Someone else had glow sticks from an old birthday box. A game emerged, flashlight tag, and suddenly the streets were alive with shrieking joy. The Thalviner scanners registered the increased activity. Small bipeds exhibiting erratic locomotion, reported one officer. Possible juvenile riot. Commander Zelvar zoomed in and paused. They are playing. This was perhaps more disturbing than if they had rioted. No digital stimulation. No neural networks. No virtual environments. And yet the children laughed louder than the adults. Somewhere down there, a girl pointed at the stars. "I didn't know they were that many," she whispered. A boy beside her looked up in awe. "I thought they turned the stars off for bedtime." The adults chuckled. Without screens to light their faces, they looked up and saw the sky as it truly was, for the first time in years. The stars didn't come back. The people did. The beacon. At the edge of town stood the community center, a squat brick building with a garden out front and a weather-worn flag fluttering half-heartedly on a pole. It was built decades ago, before anyone relied on satellites or smart fridges. And it had a generator. At first, it was kept off, fuel saved for emergencies. But someone pointed out that phones were dying, and an old coffee machine was still inside. That was all it took. A few folks hauled over gas cans. The generator sputtered, coughed, and caught. Inside, extension cords unraveled like vines. People queued up to charge essentials: phones, hearing aids, one kid's insulin monitor. A big percolator brewed coffee in slow, chugging intervals. Someone found a board game. A card table materialized. There was no hoarding, just quiet rotation. Patience. Thanks. The aliens observed the power readings spike from that one point and shared their first concern. They are rebuilding their grid. "No," said Zelvar. "They are managing limited energy cooperatively." A pause settled over the bridge. That may be worse. Old stories, new light. By now, the town had shifted into something ancient, something primal. Fires ringed neighborhoods like campgrounds. Conversations deepened. Someone started telling ghost stories. Someone else told the history of Ember Hollow, the mining years, the floods, the time a bear wandered into the grocery store. Laughter rang out across yards and porches. The Thalviner's acoustic sensors picked up songs, mostly off-key, but heartfelt. Harmonies attempted, sometimes achieved. A guitar emerged from someone's attic. A harmonica joined in. Aliens aboard the ship grew visibly disturbed. These are not behaviors consistent with societal collapse. Zelvar did not respond. He was listening. Back on Earth, a child asked, "Is this what it was like before?" One of the elders nodded. Long before internet, yes. Before television, even. Just stories. Just people. And stars, added a teenager, tracing a constellation with her finger. Someone passed around marshmallows. Someone else passed down wisdom. No one was alone. Adaptation. The next day brought no power. And still, no fear. Teams organized naturally, checking on elders, hauling water from the fire station's backup pump, splitting tasks. Farmers shared perishables. A mechanic jury-rigged a battery bank from an old truck. Meals became potluck affairs. The aliens had seen adaptation before, but never so fast, never without orders or central command. They possess no hive mind, muttered one analyst. And yet they function like one. Zelvar replied quietly. They are not surviving despite their lack of technology. They are surviving because of something else entirely. This wasn't primitive desperation. It was practiced resilience. The humans weren't merely reacting, they were thriving. The fire pits didn't die down. They multiplied. Children began drawing in chalk across the sidewalks. Adults swapped tools and recipes. No trades, no deals, just gifts given freely. The alien crew logged it all, growing increasingly uneasy. They had come to watch the collapse of civilization. Instead, they had found its root. The stars returned. On the third night, the lights returned. Street by street, the grid clicked back on. Homes blinked with artificial light. Appliances whirred. The comforting hum of the 21st century resumed. Some cheered, but many paused. Children asked if they could still sleep outside. A few families left their fire pits burning anyway. One elderly man turned off his porch light and sat in the dark, gazing up at the stars. From orbit, the alien ship began pulling away. Their mission was over, their conclusions troubling. These humans are not dangerous because of their machines, said Zelvar. They are dangerous because they do not need them. He turned toward the starlight. Their strength is not their power. It is their connection. On Earth, life resumed. But the memory lingered. The night the stars came back, humans didn't fall apart. They remembered who they were. And the galaxy, watching, quietly took note.